and the Bucs eke out a victory, 25-23. Giants not happy with how this happened, but Bruce Arians sure was.
The ball hit Antoine in the back. I mean, it was, to me, there was no pass interference. I thought it was a good call. I don't know why it took so long, but, his hands out. There was no contact. The ball hit him in the back.
I thought Nate made the right call when he threw the flag. So I'm not sure why it got picked up. We had a pretty good view. I know they can't use the jumbotrons for replay. We had a pretty clear view of that as well. But I thought Nate made the right call the first time. I thought, normally your first instinct is the right one.
It was a great play. I think he sensed the ball was coming and put his arm out, and ball hit him in the arm. And it was a game-saving play for us. They converted 4th and 16, 4th and 17, and ultimately made a great throw and catch there to score. And then they had to make the 2-point conversion, and Antoine made a great play.
Thought it was pass interference, and was surprised when they picked it up. So we'll watch it and learn from it, I guess, and see what they saw. But tough break.
Michael Robinson and Sean O'Hara joining me now. Sean, I saw your immediate reaction to the game all over your Twitter feed last night. For the folks at home, in case they missed that, what was your reaction to watching the Giants take that late game L there?
Yeah, MJ, certainly it's a tough way to end the game, and you never want the game to come down to the hands of the officials. But, the definition of pass interference is, are you interfering with the receiver's ability to catch the football? And to me, this is the classic case of yes, that is exactly what happened. Now, look, the throw was late, and it was behind him, so that forced the receiver to turn back into the defender. But when you watch this from the end zone, there's contact before the ball gets there, and that is pass interference, which is why you see the yellow flag come out. Look at that angle right there, shows it clear as day. Contact before the ball got there, and the defender wasn't looking back. So no doubt it was a penalty. That's why the flag was there. I don't know why they picked it up. And to Joe Judge's point, look, the official obviously saw something or he wouldn't have thrown it. But for the Giants, you can't continue to bring these games down to the wire like that. It's the second week in a row they've had a lead at halftime. They were up 14-6, and they let the other team creep back into the game and get a lead. So, it's just too many mistakes by the Giants. And, look, you could blame the Zebras all you want for that final play. They had a rough night, too. There was probably 3 other questionable calls that night in addition to that. But as players, you gotta take it on the chin, and you got to take it out of their hands.
Yeah, you're right, Sean. You do have to take it out of the officials' hands. But at some point, we have to start looking at the quarterback of the New York Giants. I mean, Daniel Jones, yes, he was 6 overall. But I think what he showed us in college is exactly what he's showing us in the National Football League, and that is he turns the ball over at way too often, right? I mean, 36 career giveaways in 2 years, Sean. I mean, 36% of his career snaps end up turning the ball over. Think about that, man. That's almost 40% of the time when he's getting the football, the opportunity goes to the other team. And so at some point, we have to start looking at Daniel Jones, the so-called franchise quarterback, and say, hey, man, you have to start helping us win games and not be the reason that they're losing, because he missed some wide-open receivers last night. You just talked about the pass being behind him. He throws that pass on time. We're not talking about the officials. So I think your comments are kind of toward the quarterback of the New York Giants.
Yeah, Mike Rob, look, you played quarterback too, so you know how tough that position is. And no doubt Daniel Jones, when he laid his head on the pillow last night, he said, I got to play better, and I can play better. And to your point on the turnovers, absolutely, you've got to take care of the football. And, the thing with Daniel Jones is, and you played the position, every interception has its own story, right? It's not him getting tricked by coverage. It's not him just trying to fit a ball in and he's being haphazard with the throw. A lot of these turnovers are coming with him struggling to make the play with the defender draped on him. Things he got away with his entire career in high school and college. Now it's not the same. So Daniel Jones, he makes exceptional throws, and if he can clean up the turnovers, obviously it'll be a totally different narrative. But I will also say this. When it comes to young quarterbacks, patience is certainly a virtue. Daniel Jones has only started 20 games, so he's still learning. It's his second year in the league, and he's still learning this new offense. I think his best football is still ahead of him. But as you guys know, in a New York minute, things could change.
I love that you threw that in there, but we could see the close-ups of Daniel Jones on the sidelines last night, absolutely dejected. That was the case for every game except one this year. At this point, can he turn around at the midpoint of the season? Sean and Emrob, thank you. All right, and with that, we close out Week 8, and we are on to Week 9. So let's talk about our NFL Total Access Game of the Week.
With the Hall of Fame greatest of all-time quarterback, and we are underway in New Orleans. Quarterback sneak by Tom Brady. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Spike 10 ball, Tom Brady. Who says I'm 43?
Set up the screen. Kamara at the 15. Turns it up to 10. Has space. Walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Alvin Kamara. Brady takes a gun snap. Quick throw near side. It's picked off. Janoris Jenkins. Pick 6.
Brady picked off for the second time in the game.
Quick throw to Emmanuel Sanders at the 5. Spins off the tackler. Reaches across. Touchdown, Emmanuel Sanders.
Your final score, New Orleans 34, Tampa Bay 23.
Ah, yes, the battle of Brady and Breeze, part 2. Now, here's how it played out when these two met in Week 1 this season. Brady had more pass yards, but Breeze had the higher passer rating. They both threw for 2 touchdowns, but Brady, unlike Breeze, was picked off twice. The most important stat, you saw it there in the video, that the Saints emerged victorious 34-23. Michael Robinson and Maurice Jones-Drew with me now. Now, the Saints took down the Bucs in Week 1, but the Bucs now have Antonio Brown in the mix. Guys, how will Antonio Brown impact the Bucs offense on Sunday against the Saints? Emrob, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think immediately Antonio Brown is going to inject some speed and some big playability into this offense. I think one thing this offense has lacked thus far this year is that speed on the outside to get downfield. Scotty Miller has been that speed guy on the outside, but, you know, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, they're not going to be the speedsters on the outside. So just adding the ability to get 68 touchdowns since 2013, the most in the National Football League, and he missed almost a year last year. That's immediate impact. But when you look at big picture, my thing is, what happens if he does not get the football for 3 or 4 weeks? That's my whole thing. You've heard Bruce Arians talk about all week and all last week how that wide receiver room isn't selfish. I just hope that Antonio Brown is in the right mental space because, again, this Tampa Bay team, they have a thing going right now.
Yeah, Mike, Rob, I'll piggyback and say this. The one thing that concerns me is more the chemistry. As we saw Tom Brady and this Buccaneers offense struggle early in the year, kind of caught fire. Godwin goes out, you stumble on Monday night. How long is it going to take to Tom Brady and Antonio Brown to kind of get on the same page? Let's remember, a lot of those touchdowns when he was in Pittsburgh were all Big Ben extending plays, him finding ways down the field to get open. So let's remember, yes, Bruce Arians coached him, Byron Leftwich threw the ball to him, Tom Brady's thrown the ball to him as well. But chemistry in the passing game is a huge thing, and it's going to take some time. But like you said, Mike Rob, he comes in this room, he is the best receiver right now, period, point blank. That means he's going to see double coverage. It's going to open up for Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski, and Scotty Miller down the field.
All right, guys, let's take a look at the Saints side, though, because Alvin Kamara doing it all on offense. Emrob, do you like this matchup?
Yeah, I do like the matchup. Anytime you got Alvin Kamara, he's been fired up all year. I mean, he leads the National Football League in scrimmage yards with almost 1,000 scrimmage yards already halfway through the midpoint of the season. I mean, I did not think when Michael Thomas went out that this team, this New Orleans Saints team, could exclusively lean on Alvin Kamara. Well, I was wrong. They lean on him in the run game. They lean on him in the passing game. He literally splits out wide, and Drew Brees just waits on him to win every single time. So I think this is a matchup that, again, you can put your money on.
Yeah, my only concern is this. Devin White and company, Levante David, they can run. And so that's going to be a concern when you're talking about those checkdowns and getting the ball to them. That defense earlier in the season, obviously played Week 1, wasn't where they are now. And they struggled a little bit against the Giants. I know Bruce Arians and company and Todd Bowles get them to corrected and ready to go. I just hope that Mike Thomas is there to kind of take some of that load off Alvin Kamara, because he's been working a lot the first half of this season. You don't want to wear him down late in the year.
And I know Alvin Kamara has been doing it all, but should he be doing it all? Guys, I know this much. All we've learned from the Bucs and the Saints this season, expect the unexpected. Emrob and MJD, thanks. All right, let's check out the latest power rankings. Our friend Dan Hansen has spoken, and here are your top 10 teams heading into Week 9. The Chiefs lead us off, followed by the Steelers, Bucs, Seahawks, Ravens, Saints, Packers, Colts, and the Cardinals. Cardinals round out the top 10. If you don't agree, you know you can find Hansis on Twitter. Just saying. Time now for Power to the People. Speaking of Twitter, since you've made your voice heard on Election Day, right, already, we have another poll for you. Go to @NFL Total Access on Twitter and cast your vote for the best team in the NFL at the midway point of the season. We'll reveal the winner